Oh, man. I gotta go to the grocery store again. This is getting expensive. One of the major questions I get from a lot of people about moving to the state of Florida is, what is the cost of living, from home prices to gas to groceries? So today's video, we're gonna do a cost of living for 2021, and we're getting started right now. Hey everybody, I'm Palm Beaches Paul, your local realtor and guide to the Palm Beaches, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm standing in front of Winn-Dixie, one of our local grocery stores here in South Florida. Now, the cost of living has been on everyone's mind as of late because the big I word, inflation, seems to be in the news every day. Everything is going up in price. Gas, homes, insurance, food, you name it. Everything is just getting more and more expensive. Now, about a year ago, I did a video called The Cost of Living, and I talked about some of those things here in Florida. And I thought, you know, it's 2021 and the year's almost over. Maybe it'd be a good idea to make a video about the cost of living right now with all the inflation. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna talk to you guys about the cost of living, you know, what's changed, what things cost you. You know, like I said, we're here at a grocery store. We'll talk about the cost of groceries, homes, insurance, and just give you a general idea of what the expenses could be if you're thinking about moving here to Florida. So let's get started. So some of the biggest expenses, obviously, for a family are groceries, right? I mean, I got a 14-year-old son. He eats like nonstop, especially now that he's working out. So he goes through a lot of groceries, and I work from home all day, so I tend to probably dig into the groceries more than I should. But groceries are an expense for every family. So here in Florida, you can expect to pay for a gallon of milk about $5. That's what the price was in there for a gallon, or about $3.50 if you like almond milk, like I drink, which is you know, that's like a half gallon. But so you're gonna spend that much for milk. Then some of the other things, I bought some bagels. So I got these plain bagels by Thomas Bagels. These are about $4.79 for a pack. And then I got myself some cereal, some Special K, vanilla almond. This was $4.79, but I think I saved $1.79 on it because I had a Winn-Dixie card, so I saved a little bit when you're a member. Okay, so you also can get a 32-ounce container of orange juice for about $7 for two. Again, depending on which brand that you want to get, some could be a little less, some a little bit more. And then you can get yourself a 30.6-ounce can of coffee from Maxwell House. That's going to cost you about $5.99. So hopefully this will give you an idea of comparison to the cost of some of the household products that you might buy on a daily basis compared to where you live now. So another thing that you're going to spend a lot of money on here in South Florida is gas, because we really don't have a great public transportation system. And trust me, if you're moving to South Florida, you will need a car. Fortunately for me, there's a Wawa, which is new to us here down in Florida. I'm sure some of you guys know what that is. But that's where I typically buy my gas because it seems to have the best price. And there's one right around the corner from this grocery store. So let's head over there right now. So I needed to get a little bit of gas. Now, compared to last year when I had my old vehicle, gas was definitely a lot cheaper. Not only because the time I bought the gas was much cheaper, but also I used regular unleaded at that time. Since then, I got a newer car and it requires a higher octane. So I just spent about $3.89 a gallon for medium grade, 91% octane. So, or I'm sorry, 89% octane. So you can definitely see the cost. Now that's gone up considerably since what I paid, I think 2 weeks ago. I think I bought it for around $3.50 a gallon, maybe $3.60, and now I'm paying $3.89. Now it could be that I'm at this one Wawa and it's a little bit further out west, but it's almost $4 a gallon, which is crazy. I mean, who would have thought a year ago that we'd be paying $4 a gallon? So not real happy about that because I'm a realtor and I drive a lot. So definitely gas prices are getting a little out of hand. But that's what you can expect when you move down here to South Florida. I know our gas prices tend to be more expensive than, places like North Carolina and Texas. It's just the fact of living down here. So gas is definitely an expense here in South Florida. All right, now some of y'all may know that we are pet owners. We have 2 dogs, Sunny and Liberty. They're about 60 pounds each. They eat quite a bit of dog food. And the wife just texted me and said, can you please get some wet dog food? So we're gonna add one more thing to the list, the cost of pet food. So we're gonna go in here to a PetSmart, it's a local pet store, and get some wet food. Alright, so wet dog food. So this is Simply Nourish. We usually get Science Diet, but they were out of Science Diet. Science Diet, if you're watching, please make some more wet dog food. Not the barley kind, because they don't like that. They like the chicken soup. But anyway, so these cans are about $2.49 a can. And then the big dry dog food, the big bag that we get, because they have 2 60-pound dogs that are about a year and 2 years old each, that cost us about $60 every time we have to get one of those big bags. Now the nice thing about this PetSmart is that they also have boarding here. So if you want to leave your dogs here overnight, it's going to cost you between $49 or $59 depending on what room you put them in. And then they also do dog grooming here, and that costs you about $39 for a shampoo, dry, they do the nails, they do the anal gland, clean the ears and all that stuff. So about $40. And you can get your dog all nice and spruced up. All right, so we talked about the cost of gas, groceries, dog food, basically everyday expenses that any family is going to have to deal with, whether living here in South Florida or anywhere for that matter. Let's talk about home cost. So the price of real estate's obviously gone up. It's been in the news. Everybody knows it. There's a lack of properties available, and it has just caused home prices to skyrocket. So to give you a comparison, last year for the month of September, the median price for a single family home in Palm Beach County was around $400,000. Median price for a single family home in Palm Beach County now for 2021 is $470,000. Now there's a lot of factors that play into that. Obviously, a ton of people are trying to move to South Florida to get out of places like New York and California. Matter of fact, I just had a phone call on the way over here to make this video from someone from California. And then, of course, the lack of properties on the market, low interest rates, everything just really caused home prices to go up. Now, the neighborhood I'm walking through right now, we were just here for Halloween the other day because our friends live around the corner. I helped them move in here about 5 years ago. This is a neighborhood called Equus, and it's in West Point Beach. Now, homes in this neighborhood are going to probably get you somewhere starting at about $1 million. You may find something under that, but back when they moved in here, home prices were, you can get something around $600,000-700,000, and now you're looking at $1 million to $2 million. So, but these have big lots, as you can see. It's property. It wasn't a equestrian center that was attached to it at one time. but bigger homes, bigger lots. So, but real estate in general has definitely gone up, just so much in the past year, and that's going to be a definite cost for you. Now, you've probably watched some of my other videos, and you know that, of course, when you buy a house, you got to have homeowners insurance. Well, homeowners insurance in the state of Florida is, let's put it, a nightmare. It's just expensive. There's far and few between companies to choose from. A lot of them are backing out, and then you're left with companies, like the state fund insurance, which is Citizens. The state pool might be your only option to go with, but that is definitely a cost that you're gonna have to deal with when you buy down here. It's not cheap. I can tell you the insurance prices have definitely gone up from last year. I'm not sure how much, but I know my sister just got a quote and her insurance went up almost $300 a month. So it's just definitely going up everywhere throughout Florida, and not a whole lot anyone can do about that. So that is a cost that you'll have to think about when you move here to the state of Florida. And I forgot to mention, since we got gas and used that as a cost, you got to remember that you're gonna need car insurance here in the state of Florida, and Florida has the third highest car insurance in the country, so that's going to be an expense. All of them are burnt out. Got to get all new light bulbs. So how about utility bills? Well, on average, we spend probably about $150 a month for electricity. Our last bill for the month of September was $188, and we keep it at about 70 degrees almost all day and night. Here we like the house nice and cool. I do work home all day, so sometimes I'll put it up to like 73 if we're not here for a while, but typically it's on 70, 71 degrees. And so that's our utility bill. And the company we use is Florida Power and Lighting, or FP&L for short. Now, water utilities and sewer utilities, those are going to run you about, at least for our house, those run us about $35 a month for water and $35 a month for sewer. So again, that's going to vary depending on what municipality you live in, and because you have Boynton Beach Water, Lake Worth, City of West Palm, so it just depends on where you're living. And also, some homes actually have gas. Now, we don't have that out here, but some places do have gas, and that could save you quite a bit of money for things like your water heater and your dryer and cooking. All right, another cost that you want to know about would be your internet and cable cost. Well, for us in our community, we have Comcast, and it cost me around $45 a month for cable and high-speed internet. Now, we have a special package that our homeowners association negotiated, so it's a little less expensive than it might be somewhere else. But that gives us our basic cable with our channels, and then our high-speed internet, and it works for us. We have I think 3 TVs connected to it, and then the internet throughout the whole house. But some of your other options are going to be AT&T. If they deliver fiber to your neighborhood, that might be an option that you can get. I don't know the cost for that. I've never used it. And then you have your satellite companies like Dish and DirecTV that you can also look at getting. So again, $50 a month is roughly what we pay for internet and cable TV. And then if you want additional subscriptions like HBO Max or Disney Plus, then those run you, around additional $15 a month. Oh, you're a good girl. Oh, that's my sunshine. That's my sunshine. Oh, he's a lover, huh? Hey, you're a good girl. What do you want? Oh, you want that treat? You're pretty cute. That's Liberty. That's our baby. So one of the other expenses that I forgot to mention earlier in the video was the cost of homeowners insurance. I know I told you that it's expensive and it's kind of difficult to get, but I never really talked about the cost. So the average price for a cost of homeowners insurance in the state of Florida on a policy with about $250,000 coverage is around $1,875 a year. Now, that's way low, okay? typical people here in my area, when my clients are buying properties, they're paying like $3,000 to $5,000 a year. So it can be really expensive for homeowners insurance. Again, just depends on the house you're buying, where you're buying it. On top of that, if you're in a flood zone, okay, because we're in Florida, right? So you have to think about flood insurance. And that can range anywhere between, on the low side, $350 a year to an area that probably is never gonna get flooded, all the way up to as high as $8,000 a year for places that are prone to flooding. So those are a couple additional costs that you need to think about when you're comparing the cost of living here in the state of Florida to wherever you may be coming from. Obviously, there's lots of other costs that you need to look into when coming down here. If you have children, there's daycare expenses, and just there's storage, if you need to store stuff. There's just everyday expenses that people are going to have to deal with. So if you have a question about anything, feel free to reach out to me. I have lived here for 28 years, so I have a wealth of knowledge that I'm willing to share with you, and it might help you out with making your decision to whether you want to move to Florida or not. All right, so there you go. There's a cost of living video for 2021. Just kind of giving you guys some ideas of some of the expenses, the everyday costs that you would have to deal with living here in Florida compared to wherever you're moving from. Oh, such a good girl. I love this dog. She's expensive. Vet bill, another cost of living. And of course, as always, when you are in the Palm Beaches, get out and enjoy paradise. I'll talk to you next week.